In DePIN, supply is not abstract. It is operators, businesses, and communities putting real hardware into the world. In this section, we'll look at how teams recruit those contributors, make activation easier, and turn scattered participation into reliable coverage, capacity, and service. So far, you've built 3 layers: DePIN fundamentals, marketplace, and token economics, and the technical architecture that proves real-world work. Now the focus shifts from design to execution. GTM is about getting the network into the world, recruiting supply contributors, onboarding them well, helping them deploy, and keeping them engaged long enough for the network to become useful, reliable, and defensible. Go-to-market in DePIN starts with supply, because the product depends on real physical coverage. Teams first need contributors, then deployed hardware that is verified and reliable enough to create a useful service. Only then can demand trust the network. Tokens can help start the loop, but they cannot replace supply quality. If incentives produce too much unused infrastructure or infrastructure in the wrong places, the network may look active while still failing commercially. DePIN supply does not come from one generic contributor. Hobbyists may join for curiosity, community, ideology, or upside. Professional operators think in terms of ROI, uptime, maintenance, and operational fit. Infrastructure owners may contribute underused assets like rooftops, vehicles, servers, power, or connectivity. Communities, fleets, and resellers can add distribution and local trust. The GTM lesson is simple: segment first, then tailor acquisition, onboarding, incentives, and support to each contributor's real motivation and operating model. That segmentation changes the message. Community hobbyists often care about belonging, mission, recognition, and the chance to participate early. Fleet operators evaluate the numbers: payback period, operating cost, downtime risk, and maintenance burden. Enterprise partners need confidence that the program can scale, with contracts, support, documentation, and transparent performance reporting. The value proposition should reflect what each persona is trying to protect or gain. Supply acquisition works best as a portfolio, not a single funnel. Community brings in early believers and technical contributors. Direct sales targets valuable assets, fleets, and professional operators. Resellers and installers reduce adoption friction by packaging hardware, education, and setup. Local partners help concentrate supply where coverage matters most. The goal is not simply more devices. It is the right supply in the right locations through the channels best suited to reach those contributors. Hardware access is one of the biggest adoption levers. Requiring contributors to buy devices up front can protect the treasury, but it slows participation when payback is uncertain. Leasing or subsidies reduce friction, but shift risk back to the network. Bring your own models can scale cheaply, but weaken quality control. Certified resellers and installers add margin and coordination, but they can standardize deployment, support, and local operations. The right model depends on whether speed, control, or capital efficiency matters most. Onboarding works best when each step reduces doubt. Before contributors buy hardware, they need clear location guidance, realistic ROI expectations, and confidence that participation is worthwhile. Setup should feel guided, not technical and intimidating. Verification then confirms that the asset is deployed correctly and producing valid supply. Finally, dashboards close the loop by showing status, earnings, performance, and the actions needed to stay productive. Activation is the moment a contributor starts creating measurable network value, not the moment they sign up. A strong playbook turns setup into a guided path. Install correctly, verify hardware and connectivity, confirm performance quality, and make the contribution visible in network metrics. The first week is especially important. Checklists, walkthroughs, and support triggers can catch misconfigured or inactive devices early, so contributors become verified, optimized, and productive before frustration sets in. Rewards only build loyalty when contributors can see the reason behind each payout. A good dashboard separates emissions, usage revenue, bonuses, penalties, and estimated fiat value instead of blending everything into one confusing number. It also connects earnings to controllable signals like uptime, proof score, utilization, and location quality. When prices or reward schedules change, transparency prevents panic. Contributors may earn less, but they understand what changed and how to improve. Retention is not just about paying people once. It is a community flywheel. New operators need education, peer support, and fast troubleshooting so early friction does not push them away. Strong contributors need recognition, because status and trust matter alongside rewards. Over time, people stay when the economics feel credible, support is responsive, and progress is visible. The key is alignment. Contributors understand today's incentives and believe future demand can make their participation more valuable. At this stage, the key shift is from counting supply to judging usable supply. A DePIN network may have thousands of devices, but that means little if they are in the wrong locations, offline, inaccurate, or operated by people who quickly leave. Strong metrics ask 4 questions. Is coverage dense, where demand exists? Is service reliable? Are outputs trustworthy? And do operators stay engaged? These measures connect infrastructure growth to customer value, not vanity participation numbers. Geographic planning matches supply to where value can actually happen. Coverage tells you whether the network reaches an area at all. Density shows whether there is enough local supply for reliable service. Utilization reveals whether anyone is using it. Strong incentive design does not reward random expansion. It directs rewards toward target zones, travel corridors, clusters, and high-demand regions, while reducing emissions where supply is abundant but demand is weak. As supply grows, GTM becomes less about one-time acquisition and more about operating a living system. Contributor activity creates data. Verification turns that data into quality signals. Support issues reveal where friction is coming from: hardware, location, onboarding, economics, or proofs. From there, incentives and playbooks can be adjusted to shape better behavior. The critical point is control. Anti-gaming, automation, partner enablement, and governance help the network scale without letting rewards spend or quality drift. Supply-side GTM turns strategy into execution. The goal is not just more contributors, but the right contributors, onboarded with less friction, deployed where they matter, and measured for real usefulness. From here, the question shifts. How does that useful supply become demand, adoption, and revenue?